Today we're going to look at the Haftorah and Parshat of VaYetze. The Haftorah is in the book of Hosea. The book of Hosea. Hosea was a contemporary of Yeshayahu Hanavi, one of the greatest prophets who lived in the First Temple period. He prophesied for the people of Ephraim. Hosea and Yeshayahu Malka were contemporaries. They had a similar message. Yeshayahu prophesied to Yehuda. Who is Yehuda? The tribe that when after Shlomo died, the kingdom split. So there was a kingdom of Yehuda and a kingdom of Ephraim. So Yeshayahu prophesied to the kingdom of Yehuda, and Hosea prophesied for the kingdom of Ephraim. Ephraim. Also another name for the kingdom of Ephraim? The 10 tribes. The 10 tribes, Israel, were called Ephraim. Why is that, Malka, after me? Because the dominant tribe of the 10 tribes was Ephraim. The most powerful, influential tribe of the 10 tribes was Ephraim. So he gave his name to the kingdom of Israel, Ephraim. Most of the kings came from Shevet Ephraim, yes?
Why was he powerful? Money?
Powerful, influential, the leadership. The kings of Israel came from Ephraim. There was a split, Malcolm. Remember when Shlomo died, the kingdom split? Yehuda and Ephraim. Here you have Yehuda and Ephraim. Okay? So the prophet Hosea says, Vayivrach Yaakov Sedei Aram. What's the connection between this Hosea, chapter 12, and the Parsha? The Parsha has Yaakov Avinu ran away from Beersheba. He ran to Syria because his brother was gunning for him, right? So the Pasuk says, VaYetze Yaakov vayelech Harana. The Pasuk says Yaakov left very calmly and he went to Aleppo. But when Hosea reports the incident, says Vayivrach Yaakov. Yaakov ran for his life to escape the wrath of his brother, and he ran to Aleppo. So the question is, Malka, why? It's not safe there today either. Aleppo, Syria, right? Israel Baruch, what's going on? The question is, why does Hosea change the language of the Torah? The Torah says, VaYetze Yaakov vayelech Harana. Yaakov left and he went Ashpatzir. He went to Haran. When the prophet reports it, Hosea 12, he says, Vayivrach Yaakov. Nowhere to run. He ran for his life, which is true. He did run for his life. So why does the Torah say Vayelech Harana when he was actually running for his life? And more important, what's the message for us? Whether Vayetze, whether Vayivrach, what's it all about? What's the message for us? So Rabbeinu Bechai says something incredible. Although Yaakov was really running for his life, because who was gunning for him? Esau, right? His emunah and bitachon allowed him to be calm because his emunah bitachon never wavered. So even though he was running for his life, Vayivrach, the matzav was, his external matzav was sakana, he was in danger. So it looked like he was running for his life. But in his mind, it was Vayelech Harana. Vayelech means to go with peace of mind. Because even though his external matzav was danger, Rabbeinu Bechai says that with emunah and bitachon, a person has a tranquil spirit even in times of danger.
I agree.
Because Father knows best. Whatever the matzav, Sarah, don't panic.
Right.
So the Torah says, Vayelech Harana. Even though if you looked at him, he was taka running.
But he really wasn't.
But he was running. But in his mind, he remained calm. Of course you have to run for your life. In this world, Malka, you have to be proactive. You have to be proactive. Please hear me well. 1 minute. God only helps those who help themselves. So physically he was running. Vayivrach. But in his mind, Vayelech Harana, Moshe. Glad you came today.
Yeah.
In his mind, it was Vayelech. He was calm. He knows that what Father knows best. He had a tranquil spirit, says Rabbeinu Bechai, because he had Emunah B'tochon even in a dangerous situation. So therefore, the Torah says Vayelech, but when you looked at him, it was Vayivrach. Because he was running for his life. And God only protects those
who help themselves.
But in his mind, it was Vayelech. His Emunah B'tochon allowed him to remain calm. His Emunah B'tochon, Yonatan, never wavered. Even though his matzav was a dangerous situation, he didn't panic. Because a person that has Emunah B'tochon doesn't panic. Doesn't panic. You really like that?
People have to. Sometimes it's good to beat it. That's the way it works.
Well, you have to beat it. Of course you have to beat it. Beat it. Vayivrach Yaakov. But in his mind, Vayelech Harana. Rabbeinu Bechai.
Was this before or after the first time he encountered, he said was chasing with 400 troops?
No, we're not there yet. This is when his mother told him, escape.
This before.
His mother says to him, Barach Lacha, run away because Esav is going to kill you. So his mother said, Barach. Barach means flee for your life. But the Torah says, Vayelech Harana. Vayelech Harana. Right? I know it's bothering Rabbi Abraham. I know it's bothering you. Rabbi Abraham, I know it's bothering you. So why was he afraid? Why was he afraid in next week's Parsha? Oh, you're ahead of me. I'm proud of you, Rabbi Abraham. Rabbi Abraham's ahead of me. Abraham, you hit a home run over here. You hit a home run. So why was he afraid? Next week's Parsha, right? In Vayishlach, he is afraid. Vayira, he is afraid.
Spend too much time away.
Huh? So doesn't that shoot me down? Abraham just shot me down, but I'm prepared.
Good.
To answer Abraham's kasha, I will what? That's another question.
What was his question?
His question is, according to Rabbeinu Bechai, why in next week's parsha he said he was afraid.
Up and down.
Vayira, he was afraid. Well, according to Rabbeinu Bechai, he wasn't afraid. Vayelech Harana. Right? In his mind, he had peace of mind. No matter what the matzav is, you shouldn't panic. Don't be afraid. Rav Avram hit a home run. So to answer Rav Avram's kasha, I will what?
Ask another question. He was afraid.
I'm prepared.
What did it say when he left away from Laban, when he had to run from Laban?
Not there. Not there yet. So the answer to Avram's question, there's a pasuk in Mishlei. Ashrei Adam mefachet tamid. Ashrei Adam, fortunate is a human being, mefachet tamid, that's always afraid. He's gonna shoot me down. Oh, Nechama, you hit a home run. She said, but you're not supposed to be afraid. Right? So how come Mishlei says, Ashrei Adam mefachet tamid? Fortunate is the person that's always afraid. So Nechama said what Harry Truman said. How do you get rid of a fear? Take on a bigger one. Harry Truman, Shirley, remember he said that? I remember he said that. He also said this. So when Shlomo Melech says in Mishlei, fortunate is the person that's always afraid, he means to be afraid of God. It looked like Yaakov was afraid of Esau, but he was afraid of God. Vayira wasn't Esau, he was afraid of God. Perhaps he wasn't doing the right thing, so God will what? Not protect him. He wasn't afraid of Esau, he was afraid of Hashem.
Wow.
That's the answer. Right? A person is not supposed to be afraid of anybody or anything except the big boss. Ashrei Adam mefachet tamid. If you're afraid of God, you'll have to be afraid of nobody else. So next week's Parsha, it looked like he was afraid of Esau. But no, he was afraid of God.
The beginning of wisdom.
Reshit Chab, oh, beautiful, Sarah. Reshit, Psalm 111.
Yep.
I'm prepared. Reshit Chachma Yirat Hashem. The chief of all wisdom is to fear God. Psalm 111.
You're so smart.
You guys,
I love it.
you hit 3 home runs.
She's great.
Okay, now your turn. Maybe you'll hit a triple or what? Home run, what?
You know the pasuk says v'halech laharan.
VaYelech Harana, right.
Is it possible
VaYelech.
that the Torah feels they have to tell us where he's going to?
Why he's going to Aleppo?
Where he's going?
Why is it important that he went to Aleppo? His mother and father told him to go to Aleppo to find the Shidduch.
Because he is our Rabbi Yitzchak and Yaakov. There are avos. So everything they do is important.
Maisa avot simin labanim. Very good, Malka. Maisa avot simin labanim. It's not stories.
7 years.
What?
Yeshivas
First he went 14. First he went 14. Took a detour. But I don't want to get off the subject, right? He took a detour. But let's go.
On the subject, what does it say when he had to run away from Laban? Does it say that?
I'm not there yet. I don't want to get off the...
Well, he ran away again. So
What?
He ran away again.
Okay, so you guys don't let up, okay?
When he ran back, I don't know what to say about that. Because his business was...
Yehuda's
after he left town.
But Yehuda might not be the same.
Yehuda's asking a very good question. Yehuda's asking, what's with the language there? It says VaYelech Harana. When he later on, next week's Parshat, when he escapes from Lavan, next week's Parshat when he escapes from Lavan. Okay, you wait for next week. Okay, that's a cliffhanger. Okay, the cliffhanger. Yes.
With Esav, I saw a commentary.
Yeah.
Yaakov was afraid that he would kill Esav. He didn't want to kill him.
Right, he was afraid he'll have to kill him.
Yes.
Right, very good. Rashi says that he was afraid he's got to kill his brother in self-defense. Right, but his fear was he was afraid that his Yirat Shemayim was not proper, because if it was, he wouldn't be in this bad situation. But the beginning of the Parsha, Parsha is VaYetze. Yaakov left Beersheba VaYelech Harana, and he had a dream. He saw Malachei Elokim Olim v'Yordim Bo. The angels of God were going up and going down. Bo. What does Bo mean? What above? In him. What do you mean the angels of God were going up and down in him?
What do you mean in him?
That's what it says.
But it said a ladder.
It says Sulam Mutzav Artz. There was a ladder standing on the ground.
Right.
And Malachei Elohim Olim v'Yordim Bo. Angels of God were going up and going down. Bo literally means him. What does that mean, Malka? Yes?
He was questioning himself up and down.
What does it mean? Torah is not a storybook. This world is a ladder.
So he was questioning
brilliant. This world is a ladder. It's a series of ups and downs. It's a series of ups and downs. Sometimes you're going up, sometimes you're going down.
Gematria of ladder and money is the same.
Right? Sulam is gematria mamon. You can use money to go up. You can use money to go down. The gematria of Sulam, ladder, is money. Money can elevate a person, but never money can bring you down. Depends how you use your money. No money, no honey. Depends how you use your money. So getting back, who are the angels of God going up and going down? Us. Beautiful. The Shem Tov says the angels of God are us. Every one of us is an angel.
Yeah.
We're part of God. God put us down on earth to accomplish a mission in a bodysuit. Sometimes we go up and sometimes we go down.
Right.
Nobody takes a coffee break on a ladder, Malcolm. No. Anybody take a coffee break on a ladder?
You break your leg.
And a ladder, if you're not climbing up, you're climbing down. Right? We all like climbing a ladder. Sometimes we go up, sometimes we go up. But even if you go down, it could be yerida l'tzorech aliyah.
No pain, no gain.
Beautiful. No pain, no gain. Sometimes you have to go down in order what? To come up again. It's the struggle that makes a person great.
Or kill.
The struggle. Whatever doesn't kill you,
Make you stronger.
makes you stronger. No pain, no gain. Who said that? The Mishnah, Masechta Avot, says no pain, no gain. Okay? Malach Elikim Olam Yarden Bo. So that's about Shem Tov. Chaim Volozhin says something incredible.
What does he say? I like
Malach, I know you love, that's why I'm quoting him. This is our disciple, the Vilna Gaon.
I love it.
The angels of God are going up and going down. Bo means in him. Whether angels go up or down depends on me. The awesome power of a human being, not just to control his destiny, it is Leah, but the destiny of the angels. The awesome power of a person. There's a Mishnah that says, Da mala mala mincha. The Mishnah in Avot says, know what's above you. Chaim Volozhin says, that's not where you put the commas. You have to know where to put your commas, otherwise you'll eat your grandpa. Let's eat grandpa. How did grandpa live with us? Said, let's eat grandpa. He jumped out the window. I came with a knife and fork. Good thing we lived on the ground floor. Then I came again, I knocked on his door and said, let's eat grandpa. Now you're talking, sonny, what's for dinner? So you gotta know where to put the comma, Sarah. The Mishnah says, da mala mala, comma. If you want to know what the angels are doing above, what are the angels doing above? Mimcha. It's up to you. What you do down here has cosmic repercussions in heaven. The awesome power of a human being. What we do down here, da mala mala, comma, mimcha. So whether angels go up or down depends on me.
Wasn't it true that angels are jealous of humans?
That's why the angels didn't want God to create man. The Medrash said the angels are against it. Why should we allow our destiny to be controlled by a human being? Very good, Michael.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You have to come more often. Very good comment.
Thank you.
Isn't that amazing? You have this idea throughout. In the Garden of Eden, after Adam and Chava sin, God places Keruvim at the entrance of Eden. Keruvim. Rashi says, what are Keruvim? Rashi says, Malachi Chabala, which means hell's angels. I'm not joking. Rashi says, Malachi Chabala, Keruvim are Malachi Chabala, angels of terror. But in Parshas Trumah, those Keruvim are Kodesh Kadoshim. In Parshas Trumah, in the Holy of Holies, on top of the ark, you have figures of what? Keruvim. They represent the holiest class of angels. So Rashi, make up your mind. Are they heavenly angels or are they hell's angels? Beryl, what's the answer?
Depends on you.
Depends on me. You make the call. Because Adam and Chava sinned, they turned the heavenly angels into hell's angels. Malachi Chabala. But once you do tshuva, they become holy angels again. And the awesome power in that, Yonatan, of a human being, an awesome power. That's pretty amazing. Then the Torah goes on. Devil or angel,
I love that.
you make the call. That's a song. That's right. Devil or angel. So Yaakov has a dream, a prophetic dream on the Temple Mount. On the Temple Mount. So he called the place Bet-El, which means the house of God. But the Torah says before that, the place was called Luz. Luz. So why do I care what it was called before? Peoria. Why do I have to know that it was called Luz?
For the same reason you have to know that Yaakov went to Haran.
No, because it has to do with
Nechama just said the Luz is the bone in back of the neck that connects the head to the body. In other words, the Luz is that bone that connects the soul to the body. Not just the head to the body.
The soul.
That's the place where the soul and the body connect. The loose bone in the back of the neck. Therefore, that bone is indestructible.
Right.
Even when the body rots away, that loose bone remains intact because, Yonatan, that's the place where the soul and the body come together, and God will use that loose bone, which contains the entire DNA of a person, divine natural ability, to reconstruct the human being when Mashiach comes.
Right.
But the Torah is not giving me a history lesson.
No.
Just like the loose bone on the back of the neck connects the soul to the body, Temple Mount is the place, is the luz of the universe. It's where the heavenly and the earthly connect,
That's good.
where the godly, the spiritual world, and the physical world connect. That's the luz of the universe.
Right.
The Arabs know that.
They know that.
Where heaven and earth meet.
The Jews
The luz
don't know
is
that.
Temple Mount is the luz of the universe.
Tell that to the Jews.
They know that. The Arabs know that.
But the Jews
That's the
don't.
spot where the heavenly and the earthly meet up, and therefore Temple Mount is the luz of the universe.
Tell
And
that.
that's why it's the holiest spot in the world.
Tell that to Netanyahu.
Halabai, we should know what the Arab, right? They believe that. They believe that,
They have a lot of emunah.
right? Now, the Talmud makes an amazing statement. Talmud in Ksubas, page 110, says anyone who lives outside of Israel has no God.
Right.
How could the Talmud make such a bizarre statement? So Ramban says the source is this week's Parshat. If you look in Bereshis 28, Pasuk 21, you look it up when you get home.
Okay.
It says, when I come back, Yaakov makes a vow. He's on his way to Ocean Parkway now. Aleppo, right? And he says, when God returns me back to my father's house, where's my father's house? Eretz Yisrael. V'haya Hashem li Elohim. Haya, anyone who knows Hebrew, v'haya is Lashon Atid. Only then will God be my God. So what's he saying? And in Aleppo, he doesn't have a God. Why is he saying, only when I come back to my father's house will I have a God? Genesis 21, 28, 21. So the Ramban says this is the source for the Talmud statement, Subas page 110, that anyone who lives outside of Israel, Moshe, is like he has no God. Because Yaakov is saying, never, I'm running away now from Israel. Only when I come back, V'haya. V'haya is what? Future. V'haya Hashem li Elohim. Isn't that amazing?
But it's almost like he will then be complete.
He had to leave Nebuch.
But he'll be complete when he comes home.
But only when I come back will I have a God, and not before. Isn't that incredible?
I don't understand
Why
why
don't you
you
understand?
said that.
I just told you why. The Gemara
You have to have
Ksubas,
a God in
the Gemara Ksubas says, based on this pasuk, Ksubas daf, tell your husband, you can look it up. Ksubas daf kuf yud, page 110. This is the source, says Nachmanides. Kol adar b'chutz la'aretz, kimi she'en lo Elohai. Based on this pasuk. Otherwise, why would he say the Hayat? Only when I come back will God be my God. Isn't that amazing? So thank God we don't live in Shmutz La'aretz. Thank God, Sarah, we live in Eretz Yisrael.
Right?
Then Yaakov is running. He comes to Aleppo. He meets shepherds, right? He meets shepherds, says, my brothers, where are you from? Right? We're from Haran, we're from Aleppo. And then he tells them, why are you guys goofing off? Why are you hanging around the coffee machine so long, right? The day is still big. You're stealing the boss's time. I need to know, Shirley, what Yaakov said to some shepherds 3,800 years ago on some lonely road outside of Aleppo. What's the message, Nechama? I need to know the conversation he had with these shepherds. Everything in the Torah, Alfie, is for the year 2016. There are no stories in the Torah, Yonatan. It's GPS, God's personal system. Please hear me well. Yaakov is about to rebuke these guys that they're stealing the boss's time. He says, Achai, my brothers. Before you rebuke somebody, he ain't heavy, he's my brother. Don't you dare rebuke anybody unless you make him feel like a brother. If you can't make the first one feel like a brother, you have no right to rebuke him. It's not history, Leah. Achai, he said, my dear brothers, do you realize what you're doing? You're stealing the boss's time. It's against the Noachide religion to steal. But first he said, Achai. It's not a history lesson. Don't you dare rebuke anybody. If you cannot do it with brotherly love, don't you dare rebuke anybody. Shabbos, when they scream, they throw what? Stones. That's all you rebuke somebody?
Nope.
Only if you read the Torah, Malka, the Torah. Not Sipurim. Isn't that incredible? Now, the Shafti b'Shalom. Genesis 28:21, it says, when I return in peace to my father's house back in Israel, you'll be my God. Okay? The Talmud tells us in Brachot, to a living person you say, Lech leshalom. When you depart from living person, you say, Lech leshalom. Go towards peace. Because while a person's alive, he's constantly what? Progressing. Lech leshalom. To a dead person, lo yaleinu, at the funeral you say, Lech beshalom. What does Lech beshalom mean? Go in peace because you cannot progress anymore. Lech leshalom, to a living person when you depart, you're going on the way to America or whatever, you say, Lech leshalom, go towards peace. Because you're still alive, you're able to progress towards peace. But lo yaleinu, at a funeral, you say, Lech beshalom. Go in peace. You're already complete. You can't progress no more. Right. It's over. Yaakov knew Torah. He learned 14 years in Shem VaYetze. Did he skip Brachos, page 64?
No.
Abraham. Brachos Daf Samach Dalet says, right? To a living person, you should say, Lech leshalom. To a dead person, God tells Abraham, Va'ata tovoi beshalom. When you're dead, Abraham, you'll come beshalom. To a living person, Yisro says to Moshe Rabbeinu, Lech leshalom. God says to Abraham when he's dead, Va'ata tovoi beshalom. Didn't Yaakov learn this page in Brachos? Was he absent that day from Shem VaYetze? Page 64 in Brachot. Why does he say V'shafti b'shalom? He's very much alive. He should have said V'shafti l'shalom. There's a long life ahead of him, Nachama. You want to hear the answer? But you got to fasten your seatbelts. He's going to Shmutz Loretz now. He felt he's spiritually dead.
Right.
So he doesn't say V'shafti l'shalom. Never, I have to go to Ocean Parkway. But it's Beshalom. You hear my Chiddush, Moshe? Pay to come today. Yaakov knew Brachos Daf Samach Dalet. Shem VaYetze, he 14 years, he covered Shas twice. It takes 7 years to finish Shas. You study a page a day, 7 years you got it, Abraham. So he was there 14 years, he got 2 cycles. Did he miss Brachos 64? No. But Nebuch, he says, Beshalom, because Nebuch, he's going to Chutz La'aretz, and Nebuch in Chutz La'aretz, he's spiritually dead, Nebuch. I think your husband will like that Chiddush. I think he'll like that Chiddush. Huh? Otherwise, it should have said, the Shafti L'Shalom. Genesis 28:21. You was my Chiddush. Say it over. Yes.
Says in the Gemara, he who lives in Eretz Yisrael has a God, and he who lives in Chutz La'aretz has no God.
Right, we just said that. Based on this puzzle, we just said that. Ksubas page 110, based on this verse in Bereshis 28:21. So thank God we're here.
Right.
Yes.
Yaakov was mourning the fact that Nebuch has to run to Ocean Parkway because, it's sakana. But he realized what's going to happen to him. So he says, Beshalom, I'm going to be never stuck in neutral until I come back home, yes?
But I don't understand.
Yes.
How the could study Torah, the Talmud, everything.
Yeah.
And not come out with that it's right in the Torah. And how they all can still live even if they financially can be
So
here.
people say,
Why they
don't confuse me with the facts.
That's it.
Well, then they don't believe it.
My mind is made up.
They have no
right?
belief then.
So we're preaching to converted here. We have to speak to the right guy.
I do.
Okay?
Trust me, I do.
So anyway, the Torah goes on. Yaakov marries Rachel and Leah. Isn't it strange that the first Jewish wedding in history takes place through deception? You don't think that's bizarre? Hello? He thought he's marrying Rachel, and wow, he marries Leah. And why do I have to know about it for? Rabbi, the Torah doesn't tell me no stories. The Torah tells me only thing what I need to know for the year 2017. We're almost there, Alfie.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the message? What's the message?
You don't always get what you want.
You can't always get what you want. What?
And you gotta roll with the punches.
You can't always get what you want, but you get what you need. Please hear me well. My Rebbe Rapam Zatzal said the message is, in marriage, expect to be disappointed. You think you're marrying a Rachel, and it winds up with a Leah. It's not what you expected, so what? That's exactly what you need.
Live with it.
Live with it.
But it's a deception.
Accept it.
It's a
But I had a good
deception.
one.
Why does the chassan cover the Kala's face at the chuppah?
It's because he got
Because
the
he's
wrong one.
saying,
He wants to say
I'm
he
not
has the right
just marrying the person I know. I'm even marrying the part of you that's covered up. Surprise!
one.
This is the woman I married. I'm also marrying the woman that's covered up.
That's it.
And what about the man?
The Zeldazach, the same thing.
But he's
Right?
covered up.
He's not covered up.
No.
He's wearing a kittel. Oh, he's wearing a kittel.
It's
A
not
kittel.
on his face.
So you hear this. Even though he was deceived, Yaakov remained with her. The Torah's GPS. When you marry somebody, expect to be deceived.
Nice.
Expect to be surprised
Price is okay.
and deceived.
This is not.
It's oichet gut. How do you say that in English? Oichet gut. It's also good.
Nah.
Accept it, Yechiel. Accept it.
Especially if you.
That's what you need. You think you're marrying a Rachel, you wind up with a Leah. That's what it's supposed to be,
Give me a break.
even though you don't think
You're
so.
stuck with him.
Huh? You make the best of it, right?
It might have been an
So Yaakov accepted it. Discover after the wedding, you also married someone you didn't expect. So therefore the chassan veils the kala. I'm also marrying the part of you that you're hiding from me and won't come up maybe till what? 6 months later or 6 years later? Don't you see?
I do see.
I'm
What?
gonna get to marry Rachel. Come on.
Huh?
No, but then in Halam Haba he had ease with Leah.
Huh?
Yeah.
But that's a pretty amazing,
So she.
right?
Yeah,
No,
we
I'm
got,
not.
we
I don't
got
like
stuck
that.
in one.
Right?
Do you have to agree with everything?
What? No, we don't have
Because
to
I don't
agree.
agree that he should be with Leah in Halam Haba.
Rabbi Soloveitchik says, why does chassan kala break the glass under the chuppah?
I thought that you were.
Everybody knows the korban.
Right.
But he says there's another reason.
Why to make up?
Starry, starry night. Under the chuppah, they're all starry-eyed.
That's true.
They're all lovey-dovey.
Right.
Rabbi Soloveitchik said from the get-go, you have to know there'll be broken glasses.
Yeah.
at the get-go. It can't always be lovey-dovey.
Right.
There's got to be ups and downs, so you break the glass under the chuppah. Snap out of it.
Very good.
Even in rough times. There'll be rough times. So what? Since we love each other, we could get through the rough times.
That's right.
So the wake-up call, Michael, you got to come more often. It's a wake-up call. You break the glass. They're lovey-dovey, right? They're like starry-eyed. Break the glass. It's not going to be like that. It can't be like that. Who wrote the book? Women are from Mars and men are from Venus? Women are from Venus and men are from Mars.
That's about true.
There's bound to be friction. There has to be. So what?
That's okay.
That's okay.
Challenge.
That's what you need.
Somebody here married 46 years, they can testify.
Huh?
Well, if it's
Like
a good
his wife
46
died, he
years.
went to the cemetery every day.
Please hear me well.
Sorry,
My
it was never the
Rav
same.
Pam Zatzal, one of my great Rosh Yeshivas, I had many Baruch Hashem. This is Leila Nishmas, Mordechai Goldstein, Zechat Tzadik Avraham, my Rosh Yeshiva who passed away. Great man. I had the chus to study with great rabbis. I don't know why I was worthy. Had chus to study with the great ones. Rav Yaakov Kabanetsky, Zechat Tzadik Avraham, Rav Pam, Zechat Tzadik Avraham, Mordechai Goldstein, Zechat Tzadik Avraham. I had the chus to study with great ones. And Rav Pam would always say, boys would get married and they didn't have much money. Is it important to spend money on a wedding album? And how much money, poor boy, poor girl got married, hundreds of dollars for a wedding album. Maybe we could forego it. He says, no, even if you have to borrow money, make sure you have a wedding album.
Because you have a memory of happy.
He says that, so they said, Rebbe, why? He says, Hashem has a wedding album. You didn't know that?
Wow.
Jeremiah, chapter 2, Zacharti lo chesed norayich, havas klasoyich, lech techach b'midbar.
Okay.
All the sins we committed in the midbar, all the headaches we gave God, all the betrayal, chet maraglim, chet egel, chet korach, the wild Moabite women, sin after sin. What does God tell Jeremiah? Zacharti lo chesed norayich havas klasoyich. I remember the loving kindness that you showed me, said God, when you were my young Kala.
Right.
Lech techach b'midbar, you followed me in the desert. You didn't say, where are you taking me? There's no Motel 6 out there, no 7-Eleven. We said, sweetheart, I'll follow you anywhere.
That's right.
So that's all God remembers. What about all of the sins? Doesn't God remember that? So Rav said, when God becomes angry with us, we betray him, he takes out his wedding album.
Right.
He takes out his wedding album. Zacharti lo chesed norayich. I remember your loving kindness, Jeremiah chapter 2. How you loving me, you are my young Kala. Let's look at the wedding pictures. We can recapture that love.
Exactly.
So it's very important to get a wedding album.
I agree.
Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu has a wedding album, Jeremiah chapter 2. Zacharti lo chesed norayich. Your loving bridal days. Wow. So everyone fights. It's natural, Alfie, hubby and wife. But if you love each other, you kiss and make up.
That's right.
The best part of breaking up is making up.
Right.
They got everything from us.
Agree to disagree.
We can agree to disagree, right? You kiss and make up.
Right.
You kiss and make up. Wow. Very right. Now, it's interesting that Yaakov is in Haran many years. Yaakov is in Haran many years, and Hashem tells him, return to the land of your fathers. What's the symbol? What's the symbol? Hashem said, it's time to go back to Eretz Yisrael. In Eretz Yisrael, what was he dreaming about? Malachim. Angels of God on Temple Mount and Ocean Parkway, what's he dreaming about?
Sheep.
Alatzon, sheep.
That's right.
The stock market.
Yeah.
Bonds. God said, oh, you're dreaming about the stock market.
Wrong
It's time to come back to Eretz Yisrael and dream about God and angels, Alfie. You can tell a lot about a person what his dreams are.
The second dream was a daydream, dream of the daytime because he was counting sheep all day.
Right, he was counting sheep, but he was dreaming, right? Different type of dream in Chutz La'aretz. You dream at night, but you think about during the day. In Eretz Yisrael, he was thinking about God and angels, so he dreamt about God and angels on Temple Mount. In Chutz La'aretz, he dreamt about the stock market, and that's what he dreamed about. So therefore, Hashem said, it's time to what? It's time to go back to Eretz Yisrael. Time to come home, right? Time to come home, right?
Yes.
Very interesting, right? The Parshat, he encountered the place. In the beginning of the Parshat, Genesis 28, he encountered the place, it says. Vayivga b'makom, he encountered the place. And he took of the stones of the place, and he slept in the place. What's with the place so much? Over and over again, Genesis 28:11, he encountered the place. He took from the stones of the place, and he slept on the place. Why place 3 times? Yonatan, what place was it? Temple Mount. So the Medrash says
The Beit HaMikdash.
the Beis HaMikdash is going to be on that place, and 3 times a year you have to come to the place.
Oh, right.
So it says Makoim 3 times. Winky dinky. It's Merames, the Sholosh Regalim, the 3 pilgrim festivals that 3 times a year every Jew has to come to that place. To that place. So the word place is written 3 times, symbolizing the 3 pilgrim festivals the Jews have to come 3 times a year to that place. Today we don't have a temple, so we can't do that today. So we go to the Kotel instead. The Ran says, Malka, the Ran in Sapsachim, that today when you go to the Kotel during the festivals, it's close but no cigar.
That's right.
It's close but no cigar, okay? That's the best that we can do until what? Until Mashiach comes. And Michael just said, I'm telling you, Michael's first day back after many months, Hashem should give you a refuah shalema.
Amen.
It's written place 3 times. How many temples are going to be, Leah? 3.
Of course.
So Makoim 3 times, Michael. There's 3 pilgrim festivals, but there's also going to be what?
3 days.
3 Beis HaMikdash. So therefore God says Makoim, not twice, but 3 times. The 3 pilgrim festivals, Alfie, and the 3 Beis HaMikdash.
Right.
Otherwise, there's no reason for God to write the word HaMakoim, the place.
It could be just a place. But
It's all here.
And he saw the virtual.
HaMakoim, the
He
place.
saw the virtual one yesterday.
That's right, the virtual reality. They have an Israel museum.
It's great.
The music museum, right?
It's
You
great.
went?
No, but they have the virtual.
Right,
You
in
see
the-
the Beit HaMikdash.
That's right.
And you have the Kohanim. It's the best.
At the music museum.
Where
You
is
call
it?
Yoel
Where is
Solomon,
it?
right?
No, it's right where.
By top of the
next to
Kotel.
Yeah.
There are 2 places.
Yeah, well then there's another one.
There's another one.
I went to
Where
the
is
one at the
this?
Kotel. It's really cool.
On top of the Kotel.
Yeah.
There's a place called, what's it called? What's it called?
They have 3 things. They have the
They
tunnel,
show you,
they have the
they
heritage.
show you a VD, 3D of the Beis HaMikdash the way it was 2,000 years
It's
ago.
the coolest thing
Right?
you can
It's
imagine.
amazing.
It's great.
But anyway, let's getting back.
No.
Let's get back to our Parsha. Please. My turn now. My turn. Right, buddy? My turn. Sulam. As Yehuda said, Sulam is gematria mammon. You can use money to elevate yourself.
Right.
Chas v'sholom, you can use money, go to Las Vegas and descend. And descend. A ladder. What's the message of a ladder? Life is a journey. Step by step.
I like that song.
I like that song. Every step counts, even though you're not going to get to the top of the ladder. It
You're on your
doesn't
way.
matter.
But the problem,
Every step counts.
If you don't go up, you go down.
Exactly. No one takes a coffee break on a ladder, right? If you're not going up, you're automatically what? Going down. You can't take a break. You can't take a break. But you have to know that every step of the journey of life counts. That's the message. It says the ladder was standing on the arza, and the top reached to heaven. Why should I care? 3,800 years ago, what? Sulam mutzav arza, v'rosh v'yashamayim. If you want to get to heaven, the journey begins down on earth. You can't get to heaven unless you make the journey arza. The neshama has to come down into this lowly world to get back to heaven. Yerida, Sarah, Yerida, it's Tzarech Aliyah. That's what it's all about. If you go down in life, don't be upset. You have to go down to climb up even higher, higher and higher. Who sang that? So that's what it is. You can't get to heaven unless you go arza first. That's the way to get to heaven. Of course, it's more than that. The Talmud says, Derech Eretz Kodma LaTorah. Menschlichkeit. Derech Eretz comes before the Torah. Right here. Mutzav Arza. First you have to be a Derech Eretz person to get to Shemayim. Shemayim represents the Torah. But if you're not a Mutzav Arza, if you don't have Midot, Derech Eretz, you'll never get to heaven, even though you have Torah.
I agree.
Isn't that incredible?
It is.
It's true.
What good is your Torah study if you don't have Derech Eretz? Who needs you then? Mutzav Arza. You have to be a Derech Eretz person. Then you can reach heaven. There are no shortcuts, Alfie.
Humility.
We don't run away from the world. We're not monks and monasteries. A person has to interact with the world. Be an Arza person.
Right.
And that's the way you climb the stairway. Who sang that? Stairway to Heaven. They got everything from us. Stairway to Heaven, right? They got everything
Is that
from
a
us.
Fred Astaire movie?
Now Rashi says, he left Beersheba, he was on Temple Mount. Strange Rashi, Malka. The Sulam that he saw in his prophetic dream was standing in Beersheba, and it arced. That's what we're arched or arced. It arced over Temple Mount.
Wow.
Why should I care? Geography lesson, Mekimia. Strange Rashi. This Sulam, this ladder, was standing in Beersheba,
Right.
and it happened to arc, or arch,
Yeah.
arch,
It went this way.
over Beis Hamikdash. So what? Beryl, geography lesson.
No.
What's it all about?
Is it alluding to the fact that Avram went to Beersheba?
Oh, Malka, you're ahead of me. Malka is good.
At what point?
There's a pasuk in Vayera, Vayita Avram Eshel beBeersheba. Avram planted an Eshel in Beersheba.
Oh, a tree.
Eshel stands for Achila, Shtia, Levia.
Which is
Eshel is FBI, CIA, or IRS. Eshel is an acronym. Yaakov Abraham planted an Eshel in Beersheba. An Eshel stands for food, drink, and escort to guests.
Oh, that's
Beersheba represents Chesed, Hachnosas Orchim. What's Rashi so profound? If you want to get to the Beis Hamikdash Shalmala, the road has to go through Beersheba. Yechiel, what's Beersheba? Chesed. Isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
It's not a geography lesson, Yonatan, no. Not geography lesson. Rashi's so profound. If you want the ladder to get to heaven, Beis Hamikdash Shalmala, the road has to go through Beersheba. Vayita Avraham Eshel, the Beersheba. The Chasdei Avot. The Chesed of the Avot, that's the way to get to heaven. Chila Shtia, Eshel, Achila, Shtia, Levia. Levia means escort. Achila, Eshel is an acronym, FBI, CIA. Achila, Shtia, Levia. Food, drink, and escort.
Escort to where?
Out the front door. When you have a guest, you know that, Malcolm, you have guests. I know you do a lot of Escorting. It's very important to escort the guest after the meal, at least 8-10 feet out the front door.
Yes.
At least 8-10 feet. Yiddish? People don't know that. People don't know that. The Rambam says something amazing. Of Achnosas Orchim, of the 3 parts, food, drink, or escort, what's the most important?
Escort.
You'd ask me, I'd say the food and the drink. That's what I would say. But Rambam says no. The most important part of it is the Leviah walking him out at least 10 feet past the front door down the stairs. That's what the Rambam says. Leviah is Yota Mikulam. Isn't that strange? Leviah Yota Mikulam. Why? Why is that
like you're kicking him out?
You don't want what?
You have to feel that you're kicking him out.
Very good, Malka, very good. Let me read you the Rambam's language here. The Rambam says that what? Schar HaLeviah Meruba.
You know I'm suing you.
Please. The Rambam says the reward for escort is greater than reward for giving him steak and wine. Because Malka said, because you feel that you're not kicking him out.
Right.
But I'd rather take the steak and the wine. Huh? Or the chulent, or the kigel. Why is the reward for escort greater than the what? Manja that you're given? The Rambam doesn't say why. If he did, I'd be unemployed. He just says that what? That the reward for an escort is greater than all.
Right.
He doesn't say why. Now it's my turn.
But you...
My turn. Because you give a guy chulent, right? And kishken kugel. After a while, he gets hungry again.
It's temporary.
He gets hungry. If you give him a Chinese meal, in 12 minutes he's hungry again.
It's
A lot of MSG.
but it's,
Even if you give him a steak dinner,
no, it's
he'll get
temporary.
hungry after 4 hours.
Right.
Yes. Give him a doggy bag.
Right?
But
Even a
that's-
doggy bag. It'll use it up.
Right.
When you give a person an escort, you're giving covetous neshama.
That's right. To the
You're
neshama.
giving it a covetous neshama. That pleasure doesn't wear off.
No.
That's an eternal pleasure. That neshama, even after 120 years, the neshama will still experience the pleasure that a person had the dignity to escort him out. It gives kavod. How do you say that in English? Honor and dignity to the soul. It doesn't wear off like a Chinese dinner. And therefore the reward for escort is Meruba, says Rambam, min hakol. Rambam is very exact in his words. Schar HaLeviah Meruba min hakol. You're giving the neshama dignity. The neshama, it remains part of the soul forever, even after death.
But one's temporary and the other's eternal.
Exactly, thank you. Food and drink are temporary. But the kavod for the neshama, that you're giving him an escort,
Right.
that you appreciate his company,
Yes.
that stays with him forever,
So Eshel is all encompassing.
beyond death. That's part of the neshama,
It's
huh?
all encompassing, Eshel.
Right.
So many people don't know that there's a mitzvah to walk the person out the front door. The Vilna Gaon says, Eshel, you do achila shtia and you don't escort him out, you're left with aleph shin. What's aleph shin? Eish. Oy, oy, oy.
Oy, oy, oy.
You're left with fire.
Oy.
Not good.
Not
Make sure you do aleph shin lamed.
okay.
Leviah, escort service.
That's good.
Avram Avinu, didn't he escort the Balochim? Avram holech imam after he fed them, says he walked with them to escort them. That's covered for the neshama. It gives the neshama an aura. English word or. In English you say aura. The neshama glows with satisfaction.
Right.
Neshama couldn't care less about the chulent and the kegel.
No.
The neshama cares about the kavod.
Yeah.
Right? You say a kind word to somebody. You smile, you show them dignity. That stays with that neshama forever. You smile on somebody. You know, some people just can't smile. They're like constipated.
The food.
It doesn't cost any money to smile.
But the food.
Right?
Rabbi,
You're giving honor to the neshama. It doesn't wear off.
the food is for the goof, and the Other is for the neshama.
For neshama.
Yeah.
So one is temporary,
And
one is eternal. Beautiful.
It really is.
The physical is temporary,
Right.
but the spiritual is eternal.
I love you.
The kavod. There's a pasuk in Tehillim 30. Please hear me well. Yechiel, just came to hear this. Tehillim 30. Leman yezamecha kavod. King David calls the godly soul kavod. Look at Tehillim 30, Beryl. Leman yezamecha kavod. That your kavod should sing. So what does kavod mean in Psalm 30? The godly soul, King David calls kavod. The godly soul thrives on kavod, on dignity, on honor and respect that you show the person. And therefore, derech eretz kodma laTorah. Treating a person with courtesy and respect comes before the Torah.
That's right.
Many people never don't know that.
That's right.
Many people don't know that. Sunday we have a class. Sunday it's supposed to rain. And therefore I have a class. Well, I have a class Sunday. Why rain is a greater miracle than the resurrection of the dead. Then Sunday at 2 o'clock. Why rain is a greater miracle than revival of the dead. Stay tuned.